making connections.
And then that makes you feel like it's not enjoyable.
You're not 4, you're a 6 or 8.
Size is a big thing you want to always get right.
I have my own unqualified opinion. Hi everyone, I'm Lily Aspen and welcome to my podcast, Aspen Method. And today my guest is Hannah. Hannah is a celebrity stylist who was working with me, just kidding, who was working with Adele, Katy Perry, who else?
I've worked with
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
Gosling, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of people. Oh God, I always forget when people ask me, but I have worked with Nicki Minaj in the past. Yeah, I don't know who else.
So today Hannah is gonna telling us a story of her became a celebrity stylist from the beginning to the present moment. And hopefully that's gonna be inspiring for you that everything is possible and you just have to work till your dreams become true. So Hannah,
Hi.
tell us more about how you started working as a celebrity stylist.
Okay, yeah, I'd love
What was
to.
your story behind?
So I knew what I wanted to do probably around age like 18 or 19. I knew it wasn't really something I could go to college for. Like you can't sign up for college and say, hey, I want to be a celebrity stylist.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah, there's no degree that really says that.
I think there's a line, waiting for that. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be a celebrity stylist.
Exactly. So I realized it wasn't going to be that simple. And I realized I needed to get the experience of doing that and not through college directly.
And what you were studying at college?
So I was studying business at college. College,
wow.
Yeah. I was studying business. I come from a family that does accounting, so a lot of accountants in my family. Fashion, I come from no fashion background, just to make that clear. So I kind of went out on a whim and I had discovered something that was kind of like a crash course in LA that was going to connect me with celebrity stylists. And I went to it. I learned from some celebrity stylists. It was like about a week long. And they said they would connect me with future job opportunities. I ended up getting an internship working under somebody who was styling a big music artist at the time who was going on tour with Rihanna. And that's kind of how I started. And then from there, I was assisting a lot of different stylists and then eventually went out on my own.
What was your fashion inspiration at those days?
What was my inspiration? So what drew me so much to styling was I was seeing a lot of runway shows. Social media was becoming a bigger thing. It had gone from, before in the older days of Instagram, nobody knew what a stylist was. Everybody knew a stylist as just a hairstylist. So I think Instagram kind of put it to the forefront that there was so many jobs in fashion. And I was seeing runway shows. I was on Pinterest a lot and I was just being so inspired. I was like, this is what I want to do.
You were doing this, your own boards there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was looking at, I've always loved vintage designer as well. So I was kind of just looking at old vintage designer runway shows and I was beyond inspired. I just wanted to create beautiful things like that. And it was different than just shopping. I had worked retail when I was young, but it was so much more than that. It was like the whole moment of watching people create something and it walk down the runway was just so inspiring to me. And I wanted to be part of making celebrities look beautiful. So yeah, it's kind of how I got into it.
Got it. So what was your first work as an assistant?
Yeah.
What you were doing? What is the process for the person who is just like, yeah, I want to be a celebrity stylist, but I don't know how it works. Yeah, what to do, how it works inside the industry, because I think the perception of the process is different than it is.
For sure. It's so much harder than you would assume. So like anything, when you're starting, you start at the bottom. So when I was interning, I wouldn't say it was like the most miserable thing, but it was just a lot of work. You're carrying garment bags of clothes all day. from sun up till sundown. You're picking stuff up and you're dropping stuff off. You're carrying it, you're lugging it through your car, you're lugging it in downtown LA. It's not glamorous, okay? You're the person I was working for, we were helping her organize stuff. We were helping her organize maybe 12 racks of clothing that were pulled for multiple jobs and had to go back to, you name it, any place in Los Angeles where it came from. I also, when I started, the person I specifically started working under, she had me do things that were not just kind of internship level. Like when I first got there, I was building a website. I mean, I want to say like my first week. And I was just going off. I'm pretty creative, so I kind of know how to do that stuff. I'm good with technology. I kind of just like figured it out. But I was thrown into it. And I just started doing stuff like off the bat. But it put me in a really great position because I feel like you learn the most when you're thrown into something.
100% agreed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I started my career in 2007. From this, it was not in fashion, obviously. It was in Russian kind of Starbucks thing.
Yeah.
It was like Russian coffee shop chain. And I was thrown into something. I was like, oh, I thought work in PR is just like you doing some
It's cute and right.
Yeah, you're making connections. But in real life, you're like, yeah, you have to do this report to like analyze all the
Yes.
Things and like find out this and that and pack all this stuff for different like coffee shops.
Yes.
Just to put all the materials, this like POS materials, all the table tents and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so different,
Yes.
but I think that's how you
learn. Yes.
Yeah, and it's definitely better than, sitting in a college and
doing
learning
nothing. Yes.
But
Exactly.
I do think that like in college, you also can study something.
Totally.
But it's not 100% useful all the time.
Experience, I would say, is always going to come above just, maybe learning something out of a textbook. Obviously, I think a lot of people know that these days. You have to decide what you really want to do and then figure out what path works for you. For me, I knew that in fashion, I couldn't go read out of a textbook how to become a celebrity stylist,
What was the hardest thing?
The hardest
during
thing...
your internship?
I would say, well, when I was starting out, I was still living in Orange County. So my call times were like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and I was driving from Orange County. But I was so passionate and young and happy about it at that time that I didn't even care that I was waking up at 3 a.m.
How old you was, like around 20?
I was like 19.
19. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably like 19, 20, right around that age. So that was crazy. And at the time, I was just like, I think back to it now and I'm like, oh my God, like spending, because I would try to avoid traffic. So you'd have to like miss that mark that was like before 6 a.m.
On 405?
Yes. So that was very hard. That's definitely not the hardest part about it. I mean, when I started in fashion, I wasn't eating. Now, I wouldn't say that anybody told me not to eat. It's just that you become so busy, you don't have time to eat. I don't do that anymore, but I wasn't eating when I first started interning in fashion.
So it was bad for your health or for your mental health?
Probably, for sure, yes. You're going the whole time. And it was like more than not, it was 12-hour days.
Okay.
So I still had a job back home. And then I was doing like 3 days up here in LA. So I was working like 7 days a week.
Wow.
And then up here, I was doing like 12, 14-hour days. And then I would drive home whatever time I got off, whether it was like midnight or something. And I was exhausted and I wasn't eating really right. But I was young too. So you're kind of also running on adrenaline.
You still have the sources of your body.
Yes.
You can use.
Yes. Yes.
You can't if you're 33 anymore.
I can't do it anymore either. I'm like, no, I can't. I need to eat. But it was also, I was running on passion. I also got to experience really cool things. Like, it's a really cool experience to do a project and then see it come out and like hold a magazine in your hand that you got to work on. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's
for me.
probably my favorite.
Yeah.
If you're working in a photo shoot and you had this idea on your head.
Yes.
Because usually I'm producing the shoots too.
Yes.
So that was my idea and I was modeling.
Yes.
And like we were working all together to get it done. And then boom, you see that.
And you're like, wow.
Wow.
Yes. Like, wow, I really did
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because it doesn't feel like that when you're doing it. But then I think you get to look back and you're like, wow, that was such a big experience.
I think people who is working on a movie industry, they have this too, but it's even bigger.
Yes.
Because it's the whole movie.
Yes, because the process is so long and it's so different than everybody assumes. But when you get it, it does make it very much so worth it, I feel
And
like.
also, I think it looks pretty easy, if
Yes.
I am,
Yes.
with no experience thinking about like being a stylist, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to the shops, they're
Yes.
giving me clothes,
Yes,
and I'm like,
which is totally
making
the opposite.
outfits.
Which I feel like you know more too from me because you see like me bring so much stuff to
Exactly,
set.
yeah. And it was different because I think I didn't work with I worked with some stylists back in the days in Russia.
Yes,
And it was different.
yes,
And also, the thing that you were able to find my size, and I'm size 11.
Yes. Shoe.
Was shoe.
Yes.
Yeah. It was really, impressive because usually back in the days I was using size 10 or 9.5 trying to
get in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
To put it on
Yes.
and struggle with, the crazy
Yes.
walk and stuff.
And then that makes you feel like it's not enjoyable either when you're doing that.
Yeah, and you actually
know?
can't work on camera properly if you are in such discomfort.
Exactly. Size is a big thing you want to always get right for sure.
Yeah, and the same with the clothes,
Yes.
because I'm not like a typical model. I'm not size 2.
Yes.
So it's different.
Everybody's body's different. And I think that's a big part of my job as well. I can kind of look at somebody and almost know their size. I've been in the industry so long.
And you see that through, right?
Yes.
You have this supervision. Like,
Yes. Yes.
You're not 4, you're a 6 or 8.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, but also I think, it's a perception for me. I was an overweight person
Yeah.
before. So at a certain point, I was like, no, I'm size 4 or I'm size 6 or I am at this sort of size.
Yes.
But then I'm like, I know that like in Zara, size large, for example, gonna fit better than any other size.
Yes.
Like on my body.
Yes.
Because I'm tall. Like I have wide chest and wide shoulders.
Yes.
So it's less about, being labeled. It's more about
how you feel in it. Also, no designers are the same type of sizing. They all go off of different sample models. So that's what I mean by I can kind of pick up what size somebody is, because when I'm looking at something, I know if it's going to fit them. I don't really actually pay attention to sizing that much because it's not the same. It's Zara sizing is completely different than designer sizing.
Yeah, American sizes are different than Russian.
Totally.
Because in Russia, size extra large probably because it's so small
Yes.
and everybody is so obsessed with like being in a like super slim.
Yes.
It's different.
And vintage designer from Runway, it always runs smaller. So it's more that you need to know, you just need to know how clothing works and you need to know the history of fashion and designers.
And how your work elevated your style.
Yeah.
How it was for you.
So I think that I draw inspiration more from designers and creatives in general than I do from just celebrities. But how has it grown my style? Probably over time. I mean, I've always liked interesting things. I've never been really like simple style. I can be both. I think I have a big range. It just kind of depends how I'm feeling in that moment in my life. But I mean, like right now I'm in a fur jacket. So
But you're a stylist.
But I'm a
and
stylist.
You're expressing that.
Yes. So I don't know. I think as I get older, I very much so want things that make look good on my body as opposed to just something that's trendy. I've never honestly really gone for something that's trendy. I like more something that nobody has or like a vintage piece that I'm really drawn to. I always want to make it a thing. And I want other people to be this way too. I don't think people should just purchase things because they see other people wearing it. Fashion,
Especially now, I think.
Yeah, like we
and
have
brands
access.
using that,
Yeah.
Nice packaging, green color, Bottega, something, and everybody is, like Hailey Bieber is wearing it.
Yes.
It's everywhere on Pinterest.
Yeah.
And boom, you have a desire to have this back.
It. Yeah.
And actually
and you don't
need
like it.
Or you don't like it.
You don't even
yeah.
love it. And I think people should always really take a second to realize if they they like it? Like, does it speak to you? Because fashion is supposed to be a creative outlet for you. And I think it's kind of turned into this thing where everybody wants to look like each other. I don't
like if we are talking about using the clothes as a statement or as an expression of yourself.
Yeah.
Which is the best example on
who does this?
Who does this?
Yeah. I think Rihanna. She's always been a fashion icon to me. Yeah, because I think she goes outside of the box a bit. You see her do stuff that not really everybody's doing, I think. Yeah,
I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find who else do you think? My inspiration. I love
who do you love?
The first name came up, just come up to my head is Johnny Depp.
Yes.
I love people who has their own aesthetic.
Vibe, totally.
Yeah, and vibe. So I definitely love this about him.
That you don't see other people kind of dressing like him.
Yeah, and he's not this, on a spotlight like Rihanna.
Yes.
And everybody is just copying, she's wearing this red outfit on Super Bowl and everybody's, just...
Yes.
Yeah, let's copy this. And I think my idea of fashion is authenticity.
Yes.
Not being trendy or a trendsetter, but expressing yourself the most.
Yes, totally.
And I think I can find the female role model.
For
I don't know
you,
why.
Yeah. It gets hard. I don't know. I have to also, that's the thing is I don't really lean towards, I lean towards more like creatives and designers that I think are actually.
I know who.
Who?
Blake Lively.
Oh, yes, I know you love her.
Yeah,
yes.
I love her, and I love that she is styling herself.
Yes.
And I love all the ideas which are, which she has behind her outfits.
Yeah.
For example, on Met, when she was, like a State of Liberty there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so this transforming dress.
Yes.
I think she's creative.
Yes.
And she's definitely an inspiration for me.
Totally.
And also Billie Eilish,
Yes.
I love this
because it's different.
Gen Z vibe. Yeah.
And when you see people dressing differently, it inspires you. And I think that's what gets people loving fashion. It's not when you see something you've seen 100 times. It's when you see something different that you're inspired.
Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing.
100%. The third name is Doja Cat.
Yeah. Oh, I love, by the way, huge one for me too. I think Doja kills it.
She is killing
her
it.
Stylist as well
Actively,
kills it.
yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, but I think, we were talking about that not on camera, that you have an opportunity to express yourself on a red carpet or on a big event, and not everybody is using that.
No.
Someone is just some of the celebrities.
Yes.
They are just using this opportunity to be pretty or be nice
Totally.
or, look good.
Totally.
But some of them, they're that is my moment, and I can use it for my career.
Yes.
For being, on all the medias with this look, and it's not about being look nice.
Yes,
it's more about express yourself and get that attention.
Yes. Also, I think there's a correct way to do it. Like, if you want to just wear a dress, totally fine. But I think if you're gonna do that, you should make it extravagant, or make sure it's true to you. Not just maybe something so simple. I think it's really cool when people make something a whole moment, because there's so many fans and such an audience for fashion these days that it's truly just a moment to take that and turn it into something that can really inspire the new generation,
100%.
Like when people review, because so many people review fashion looks these days, And
I love this, unqualified opinion on Golden Globe.
Yes, right.
I'm I want to be this person, unqualified opinion about, Selena Gomez outfit. I know that it's inappropriate to put any critics towards her, but sorry, I have my own unqualified opinion. Yes. Love to Selena.
Yes, exactly. So I feel like it's now that we know that there's such an audience for it, I feel like it just makes sense to take that and make it a real fashion moment.
And if you're gonna go or you're gonna style anyone to go to Met Gala.
I love like vintage anything.
Yeah,
so.
I thought they just done it because of Kim Kardashian has already used Marilyn Monroe dress, and they like, okay, now it's a task with the, with the extra effort for you because you can't do Marilyn Monroe again.
I actually read a whole article on why, like explaining the Met theme this year. Mm-hmm. Wait, so what was the question? You said
what is going to be the option? Like if you, for example, going to be styling me or any celebrity you want.
What would I do?
Yeah, you can choose anyone.
Oh, who would I Who would I dress?
Yeah, who would you dress?
And what would they
it be?
wear?
Yeah.
Personally, whoever I dress, I would want to collaborate with them, but I also love sketching, and I would want to co-create with a designer, like a big designer. What designer? I don't know what that would specifically be, but it would definitely be. I mean, if I could style anybody, it'd probably be Rihanna for sure.
Okay,
but
nice.
just because I love her,
or both of them, Rihanna and ASAP.
No, just Rihanna.
Okay.
I do men's.
Because like
I do men's, but
I'll be undressed.
But if I'm doing somebody for the Met, I'm not doing both of them. Oh, stress. Like you want to just do one person.
Love this approach.
At a time.
Sorry, I already busy with Rihanna.
Yeah.
I'll give you a number
busy.
for my assistant. Probably he can do something to you.
Yes, exactly. Honestly, I'm open to, I love dressing women. So I would be open to dressing anybody for the Met. Met is huge, So I think that's such an iconic thing to be able to dress any celebrity for the Met. And I think it's really a time to be the most creative other than any other red carpet.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it is the most creative because I think it's the only red carpet I'm really, looking through all the outfits and all the celebrities.
Yes. More than Emmys, more than Oscars. I mean,
100%.
Met's for sure the biggest fashion one. Wait, I don't want to mess up what exactly the theme is because I would tell you what I would do. But
let's check it out.
I'm like, I would tell you exactly what. I think it's on Vogue.com, but just type in. I left my phone over there, but
it's Sleeping Beauty's Reawaken in Fashion.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay,
we checked that out, and it's Sleeping Beauty Reawakening icons, right?
Yes.
So I was close with my English kind of translation. So yeah.
So it's basically taking like archived pieces. What I would do first is I would find all my favorite major archived pieces, and then I think I would create something new and similar. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's very nice to pay homage and like wear something that somebody else wore, but I think there's also something special about recreating it yourself. Not exact, but bringing something new.
Yeah.
Because it's a new generation, it's a new time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that I would draw inspiration from old designs and then kind of co-create and design something with one of the designers.
What is your favorite designer now?
My favorite designers are probably up-and-coming designers, I would say. Like people that are still in fashion school are the most inspiring to me, honestly.
Yeah, I think they are young and they are still starving to express themselves more than all the big names.
It's just that designers, when they've been around for so long, they kind of follow certain guidelines for their shows. So they don't go as crazy and they don't go as creative as that maybe they used to in the starting.
Do you think they are more thinking about sales, not about the creativity and fashion?
I think obviously we both know that a lot of things are about sales these days.
But I like me personally, I love how they combine that.
Yeah.
For example, Pharrell Williams, who is working for Louis Vuitton now.
Yes.
With this like speedy collection. I haven't been there yet, like in LA. They have this exhibition of Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
And I love speedy.
We should go.
Yeah, I want to go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So for me, it's interesting how they still, selling, but also doing something.
Like cool and different.
Yeah, something cool. Because when I, like, no shade, but I will be this toxic friend who is like, so I don't like, I love J.W. Anderson.
Yes.
And I love Jacquemus.
Yes.
For me,
too.
they are, and Schiaparelli. So
Yes.
for me now, they are probably the most creative ones.
Totally.
And I love, I know that Miu Miu and Prada are
having a moment.
having a moment now too. And I know that a lot of Volkova.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I think now it's about not just about design, but it's also about styling and
Yes.
doing something unusual like this, knitted panties.
Totally.
Or something like that.
Totally. And styling can make a whole collection look completely different, by the way.
100%.
Obviously.
And the whole, the whole idea of the runway.
Yes.
If you are not boring.
Yes.
You're doing something
It's a
like
whole-
fields with like lavender fields or
Yes.
something else. Or this
Like
Balenciaga.
Jacquemus shows are insane. I
Balenciaga
feel like
with all the snow and all the wind.
yes, totally.
Crazy.
Totally.
Or Schiaparelli with Bella last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
that last year?
With this dress which was sprayed on her.
Coperni
Coperni.
or Corgus? Corgus?
I think it was Schiaparelli,
Coperni.
but probably it was Coperni.
I don't think I'm insane. Yes.
No. You're definitely. I mean, you work in fashion. I'm just enthusiast.
Yeah, like I totally agree. It's all such the whole thing I think becomes an art piece, Shows are to me, they make they're like a show, an art show.
What do you think about perspective? Like, where would we be in fashion in like 5-10 years?
I think fashion's moving at an all-time high pace because of social media. I think it wasn't big before, and now people, whether they want to or not, are involved in fashion because it's coming up on their pages. You know?
But I think there is no more trends. It's course now.
Yes.
And this course are trendy. Like
Yes.
ballet core.
I think
last
that's just
year.
kind of like what-
Barbie core. It's just, it's transforming. So
Yes.
it's interesting how it would be like in 10 years.
I think the youth and the younger population is always like putting names to things, and I think that's fun for them, and it's slang. But those are actually just obviously trends. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that what they are?
You are a millennial or you are Gen Z?
I'm a millennial.
Okay.
I'm a millennial.
Me too. So,
Yes.
okay, we're like this young generation,
Yeah.
put in labels, and we've been there
Yes.
even 20 years before,
Yes.
and it is
Yes.
a trend. Period.
It's still a trend, exactly. No, I actually I have young friends, and I get the whole TikTok language, and I actually think it's fun. I think it's funny.
I feel like I'm too old for people, like I'm friends with, because I'm this person who's like, yeah, ballet core. I'm buying this crazy, I don't know, purse. Yeah, I'm trendy. I'm Gen Z, but obviously I'm not.
Yes.
But I feel, like working on social media,
Yeah.
you have to understand
Know
what's going on.
Yes,
Because if you are not, you're just outdated.
for sure.
Because, like now probably millennials are on top and they have the most, payable audience and, everybody is targeted on them. But in 10 years, that's going to be Gen Z.
Totally.
And if you are not speaking their language,
Then
you're going to be outdated.
exactly. Then
so
you
that's
can't
why
connect
I'm
with
like,
them.
K-pop,
Yes.
yeah. Tell me
You get
more.
it, yeah.
Yeah, my sister,
Exactly.
she's 20.
And that's a part of business too, like you need to be current in your line of work. So in social media or in fashion, you need to know across the board what's trending, especially if you want to come out with something. Later on, a lot of people come out with brands. If you don't understand, where the younger generation is coming from and what they enjoy, you're not going to be able to target them as an audience.
Actually, I think the Eastern culture, like Korean pop, like all the idols, they definitely influence the young generation a lot. What do
Yeah.
you think about that?
What do I think about how they influence them?
Yeah, about the, this Korean makeup, Korean fashion, Korean trend itself. And it's pretty big on TikTok and social media.
Yeah. I genuinely think Korean products are amazing. So I get it. When it comes to skincare, at least. All the other stuff, maybe I'm outdated. I don't really know all of the trends that, Korea has. I don't know all of them. But I agree. Like, I think when it comes to certain things, people are really good at certain stuff. Like, I've used Korean skincare and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I think that we've known for a really long time that they, in general, know how to keep really good young skin, you know? So I think that really TikTok is just a way for people to try out things quick and you to realize what's working for the collective. I actually think it's a great way to learn.
Yeah, it's actually a good point that on TikTok you see how trend goes.
Yes.
If it's permanent or it's
Or
super
if it's just
fast.
quick, then it's
And super quick.
yeah, then it's not really worth buying into, I think.
Because I think like now even big brands, they have started collaborating with the Asian, stars more. And like Squid Game and all this,
Totally.
doramas
Totally.
are definitely more popular than before. So that's the big trend which I see, obviously, like Blackpink and like BTS, which are not super, now they're in army.
Yeah.
But I think like my sister, she's Gen Z.
Okay.
And she's into all of this.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's super international, I think, because she lives in Russia. And she's following them. She's collecting.
See, that's so interesting to me because I don't know that much about that.
I'm just pretending.
I'm like, I do know that K-pop is huge. I do know that.
But it's the whole, it's the whole aesthetic. It's the whole world.
Yes.
And these idols, they have a lot of, following.
Yes.
And they are making products as popular as Taylor Swift here in US.
Wow, that's crazy.
Exactly.
You're informing me. I didn't know this.
Yeah, now you know. So
yes.
The idea is like Taylor Swift wore this New Balance or what was this shoes, wherever.
Yes.
And
it's
economy in the cities she is performing is growing.
Yes.
So that's crazy.
So their influence is extremely high.
She is, or any, stars influence the economy and the buying behavior, customer behavior, what they are buying or what they're chasing for. Because after Rihanna's Super Bowl, she was wearing the shoes, the red ones.
Yes.
And it was super hype on StockX and all the reselling platforms.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of just how influence works. Like, I think, celebrities have a really big moment, or if they're just huge, they stay in that moment. And that's how influence works. When people are drawn to you and drawn to you artistically or your music or whatever it is that they're drawn to, your personality.
Or just you because you are Kardashians.
Yes, whatever it may be. I think people are influenced by somebody that inspires them. So whatever it is, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, or the Kardashians, I think they tend to, they want to be similar to that person.
But, I heard about the thing that Kardashians are irrelevant, because they're living in their like billion, gazillion mansions and they're not close to the real life and real, people. So they are less trendy now because of the beauty standards, all the injections, fillers, plastic surgery and stuff. And what do you think about this trend, like a beauty trend itself? It's like going, I think it's going two directions at the same time, being more natural and still, keeping up with Kardashians and all the beauty standards which are not easy to achieve for the regular person.
I think that, people should do what makes them happy. I don't think there's any which way to be. I think there's nothing wrong with getting work done. I think there's nothing wrong with not getting work done, as long as you're genuinely happy with yourself at your core, That's honestly how I feel.
If I'm thinking about Gen Z, I think they're not trying as hard as millennials,
I think that's great.
Probably. It's just,
great.
I think it's influenced the whole customer behavior and all the trends, because if you're trying so hard, you can buy like brow gel, brow pencil, and all the,
You're always trying to be perfect, so you have to buy everything to make you perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think that's great. And I think TikTok has made a lot of people be able to be seen without makeup and be able to just be themselves, I think it's so much different than Instagram. Instagram is very not like
exactly.
this.
Yeah.
So
100% sure. Like agreed.
and I think it's the same thing. Like it's about learning. So it's like we change as a generation. We're realizing that, maybe that's not that healthy for our mental health to always look perfect. So I think maybe the younger generation is realizing like it's okay to be on social media without makeup. Now I haven't done that. I don't know if I will.
Oh my gosh, my followers, they're asking me like, why are you using filters? And I'm like, because I'm ugly without them. That's the honest answer. I'm great. And I'm this person who's, who
Yes.
was raised with Instagram. I was 23, 24 when I started like posting on a daily basis and like getting bigger, and when it just, popped up there, the filters and stuff, you're like, oh my gosh, finally I can just use it without, put on all the makeup and trying to look better.
Yes.
So I still used to that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I am too, like I think we're all like, can be a victim of it, especially if you're hyper aware of yourself. And I've always been that way.
And especially if you're, editing your videos all the time and you see your face like
and you're
couple
like,
hours a
wrong.
day, this close, you're like,
something is not perfect. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but I definitely want to have this trait from Gen Z who are more comfortable with their like any imperfections. You know? Oh yeah, my skin is imperfect.
Oh yeah,
my skin is fine. But I'm like, but my lashes are not, my lips are not.
I'm the same way. I wish I wasn't, and I think I don't, I'm not somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm so ugly without it. I don't feel that way. I'll leave my house without makeup on. I will. But I just feel like social media is such a digital footprint.
I just realized, you know what? If I'm going outside without makeup, I will meet, let's say, like 100 people. And I'm totally fine. But if I'm going to post anything on my Instagram, that's going to be 100,000 people who is watching this video.
Also,
and
it's like
different.
kind of permanent. Like people can screenshot it, and I think
exactly
that scares me. With no makeup on, just like looking
no
crazy.
makeup, no fillers. Kind of stuff.
I wish I didn't. I wish I cared less, truly, but I don't think I'll ever care like that little.
Yeah, I'm working on myself on this.
Yeah,
but still, I think we were raised in a different era.
Yeah,
with with the idea of perfection, of being perfect, and like wearing the perfect outfit.
Yes.
Not expressing yourself.
All put together.
But you have to look in a certain way. So so I think definitely for my brain, it's really hard just to lose this concept because it feels like it's already built in my personality.
Yes. Totally. I mean, I'm the same exact way, Yeah.
But
I'm like, I support people that are not like that. Like, I'm like, yes, that's amazing.
Guys, you're amazing. Yeah, I feel the same. But again, like in real life, I'm pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
But like working on the shoot, we were working together. I'm like, I have cellulite, I have like imperfections, stretch marks. Wherever I lost 90, like to almost 200 pounds, guys.
Amazing.
Like again, my body is. It is.
Yes.
But on social media, I'm like, can I just wear something to hide it? Not to look as obvious, with all the imperfections. So it's different.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all have our things. I mean, same thing with me. Like, I like having a tan. I'm from Orange County. It's always going to be like that. I don't right now. That's why you can't see my skin. That's why my makeup is dark.
I think it's also liberating for the people, that everybody has
for sure,
except Gen Z. They are
don't
amazing by themselves.
Anything.
Yeah, but we are poor millennials who were raised on keeping up with Kardashians, Paris Hilton, and all these crazy beauty standards. You can't achieve with the without plastic surgery and the all the stuff. You can. Used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I don't know. I think I think the world will change more the more people are so open with everything.
What do you think about artificial intelligence and fashion? Because, I think, I don't know how it works for fashion.
Yeah.
But I know how it works for photographer or designers.
Yeah.
Now you can just put a prompt inside like Midjourney or any other service and it is, the image is created in like 10 seconds.
It's kind of bizarre to me. I feel like, at least in a creative business, it takes away from the art of it, I think, because what makes something so cool is everybody that got to work on it. Like, like when we do a shoot, it's like every single person is putting in their creative ideas and making, an amazing shoot or amazing editorial or spread. So I just feel like it kind of takes away from the heart of the project, I feel like it's kind of a sellout situation. Now, I'm not saying AI is bad. I think it can be great for certain things. I don't know, like if somebody was writing up a interview or something like that.
I'm always using that for interviews. Sorry, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
the
I
best
think
thing
it
ever.
can be great for that, for sure. I haven't used it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get canceled
Emails
for
also.
saying that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All the response,
Yeah.
guilty.
But
using
I
that.
think when it comes to photos, and I think all artists feel this way, is that it's kind of like it's taking away from the art of it.
But I am using that for the like as in making a sketch.
Okay.
Because there it's pretty easy and I'm not like freehand drawing really well.
Yeah.
So I'm using that and then boom, you can play around, with your creative ideas.
To sketch like what though?
To sketch the idea, the photo shoot, whatever. Like go with the like dry or wet
So it
hair.
helps you get ideas, right?
Not ideas, but just express these ideas. So you have a sketch of
So
your
you can
idea.
explain to
exactly,
people.
yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's
Something like that.
I don't think that's
and,
that
and
bad.
for the content also, because when I just discovered the Mid Journey, I was like, OMG. So I can use it like that. So like me, Lily, with 5 kids, boom, the image is there. You can use it.
bizarre.
Yeah, you can use it in your content. Or Lily, who is playing guitar as a rock musician. Boom, it's there. So I was like, OMG. I was playing with that for, I don't know, a couple months, I think. And it was so cool because, on a photo shoot, you're going there, you're bringing a lot of clothes, you're working on a shoot, you're tired, you're
Yes.
doing hair and makeup. And there it's like that.
Yes.
You just put your face and boom, the content is there. So
It's kind
I
of
was
bizarre to me.
amazed.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I'm like less passionate with that, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's not a future, it's a present moment.
Totally.
Which you can. I definitely love to use all the technology we have.
Yes.
For anything, for creativity, for longevity, for beauty, for everything. So I definitely love the artificial intelligence, and I definitely want to see like collections created. Using that.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you're going to. I'm sure they're gonna see.
Because you can like use the super duper creative ideas and see how it is on a model or on a body.
Right. Honestly, I don't know enough about it. Actually, I'll tell you. Somebody told me to create a collection, Art of AI,
Exactly. Yeah.
and like have it be on what is it that people use? What I don't know.
Midjourney.
Is that what it is? Where it's like you can create your life?
Yeah,
in
you
there?
just put the prompt there and boom, you see the result. And
But
you can put, the corrections just to make it just to make your idea correct.
Okay, but also people are wanting me to create collections and have it be like an NFT or something.
Yeah, because
not
it's
sure.
still your idea. It's just, the expression made by artificial intelligence.
Right.
It's like a help.
Weirds me out.
Yeah.
Weirds
got
me
it.
out.
Got it.
I don't know. For fashion at least, I just feel like I put so much into fashion and like I draw my inspiration from so many different places that like it kind of irks me to like have a computer do it.
Got it.
Because I feel like it's not really
Yeah, fair enough.
me. But I don't know.
And what is your idea you want to express if that's going to be your clothing line?
It just depends. I think how I would be feeling at the time, but I would always lean towards something that was like feminine, for sure. Like I love pastel colors. I love feminine, leaning towards feminine things. I know you love leaning towards masculine kind of sometimes. Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah. And I love that,
I discovered this dark feminine energy like recently, a couple years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh,
This is
finally.
you? Yeah.
Because usually when you're thinking about being feminine,
Yeah.
you're thinking more about, girly, pastel colors,
Yes.
something, and that is definitely not me.
Totally.
Because I have like pretty intense masculine energy and the same feminine.
Yes.
Because I have my creative side. I love to, doing creative things and doing spiritual things. It's all about expressing my feminine energy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have discipline. I love to make money.
Yeah.
And all this is about my masculine side. So
Yeah.
for me, it was hard to combine it in the right, proportion in the right way.
Right.
And I was kind of struggling with my personal style because it was not expressing myself 100%.
Yeah.
It was just, this part of that
Yes,
part and
yes.
too sexual, too
Yes.
sexy or too masculine or too plain.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, dark feminine. It's interesting.
Like that made sense to you.
Yeah, more sense.
Yeah. And I think it's great.
Because it's strong, it's not
Yes.
soft.
Yes.
Because they're definitely not soft.
No. And it's great to have those new discoveries. I feel like every year we kind of make new discoveries, what is more our style and what's not. And I think it's great that we're getting so much inspiration on Instagram and TikTok or whatever it is, that you can kind of piece that together and decide what you want your look to be,
Mm-hmm. If
I kind of sway both ways. Like I love a suit as well. Like I love something oversized. You will definitely see me in like boyfriend jeans and an oversized jacket sometimes for sure. But I also have the side of me that like I love wearing a dress.
Got it. And if we're talking about celebrities, you already mentioned that you want to work with Rihanna on Met Gala.
Yeah.
If that's going to be Met Gala, that's going to be her. And like in general, what is your next desirable celebrities to work with?
I don't know. I would say
Or any projects, like any projects you
I would love to do more runway shows.
Okay.
Like in Paris and Milan. I think that's really cool. To me, I've worked with celebrities for so long, and don't get me wrong, it's amazing. I think it's so cool, and it's a part of my dreams that I've definitely reached as a goal. But to me, as a creative, it's so cool for me to work on runway shows, and it's just I don't know, it's so inspiring to me. So I would love to do some shows like couture shows in Milan and Paris.
Which brands?
Which brands? Hard. I would say I would love to work on a Chanel show, obviously. I would love to work on a Giambattista Valli show, couture, of course.
Yeah, they're really beautiful, and this, with this pure femininity.
Yes, just any couture show. Honestly, Victor and Rolf is really amazing to me. Jacques Mus, definitely.
Yeah, Jacques Mus.
Yeah. Like obsessed always. I've loved every single collection of his. I'm trying to think of anybody else that like definitely comes to mind that I really, really enjoy. It's hard for me to think of right now, but Charlotte Knowles, I love. Ottolinger, I love. Like more upcoming ones are actually so cool to me.
I have my Slavic roots, so I love Vetements and Balenciaga.
Yes.
Because, it reminds me 90s. 90s in St. Petersburg. Everybody is wearing Adidas.
Yes.
Fake Adidas, Abibas. From the, chaotic market, wherever. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this aesthetic, too.
Yes, yes. And those are so you, like Vetements and
yeah, because,
Balenciaga, so
I
you.
think it's close to my roots.
Yes. Totally. Also, same with me. Like I named place like Giambattista Valli is Italian. I'm Italian, and so
you mentioned Milan.
Yes, and I love just couture. Like originated a lot in Italy, so it just makes me feel like that's the heart of couture. So it's just so cool to be a part of where it actually came from. I think that would be really cool.
And what is your favorite designer out of the old times and the favorite era? For example, like Phoebe Phillips,
probably John Galliano.
Galliano,
for Dior.
For
sure.
me, he is the most creative one because
Yeah.
when he was doing that for the Fifth Element
Yeah.
with Mila Jovovich, oh my gosh, I was a kid when I was watching that, and that was my favorite movie.
Yes.
Because it was like, oh my gosh,
Amazing.
how he
Things
came
like
up with
this.
everything.
Yeah.
In like 1997 or something like that.
Yes.
Like
Also,
obsessed.
Jean-Paul Gaultier, huge for me too. Big inspiration. I love old Roberto Cavalli. Those are probably my favorites, I would say. I don't know. It's hard I go back and forth, like what I like, but those are definitely my like forever ones. Like when I lean towards vintage, I lean towards those. I always love old Louis Vuitton, but I think That's
Yeah,
kind of
Stefan
just...
Sprouse is my favorite.
Yeah.
When Marc Jacobs was doing,
Oh, Marc Jacobs, also huge, major.
yeah, he's like we love it.
Yeah, like I love Marc Jacobs. Old Marc Jacobs, new Marc Jacobs, love it all.
Old and new, yeah. I just like I think last year or 2 years ago, it was a new era
Yeah.
in Marc Jacobs. So I've bought this, the Kiki boots,
Yes.
and the jumpsuit
Yes.
recently. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, now we are talking. Because before, back in the days when I was like 20 something in Russia, it was the wife of the CEO of the company I was working for, and she has Marc Jacobs purse,
Yeah.
just the normal one, just the most plain one, and I was like, oh my god.
It was amazing.
I want it with this, with the cloth inside,
Yes.
with the letters,
Yes.
like MG.
Oh, speaking of, I also love Loewe. I love Loewe.
Loewe, yeah.
I've loved Loewe for years, by the way. They used to have like this
I'm pissed off that they are out of my sizes in shoes because I want this like balloon shoes.
I was just gonna say, those are so you. I love those shoes. Really, I feel like
I bought once with these comic ones. I actually wanted to wear it today, but I decided, to go like more normal.
Chiller.
Yeah, yeah. With this comic in black color.
Okay.
I bought them. It's so funny. I feel like I'm a Minnie Mouse, kind of. But yeah, I love that. Like I
Yes.
love Loewe.
yeah, I love Loewe because it's different. They come up. They have
That's
stuff
what
that you don't
I
see that
want
much.
to get from fashion.
Yes.
When it's like something.
It's different and it's new and it's also I love to look at something that's a designer that I could just look at and I would love it. That's what I like to buy. Like if I could just look at it and I love it, then that means I really like it. Like if I put it on my wall and I love
it's
looking
like
at it,
a piece of art.
yes, then that's how I know I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Okay, if we are talking about your like goals for now,
Yes.
let's work a little bit.
Okay.
It was a warm up. People are, I'm pretty sure people are in love with you and your, attitude and your path and career.
Yes.
So what is the next step for you? And like, I wanted to, probably to see it in a bigger picture and help if you have any, blocks.
Okay. What is the next step for me? I probably want to just get to do, I guess I would say, get to work on more, like I said, runway shows in different areas of the world. My goals would probably be to work with just people that I can create with. So I love how, like, for example, I love how Colin Carter and Cardi B do like the most amazing looks together. So I would love to have somebody that I have kind of creative freedom with. Same with Doja and her stylist. I would love to have a moment where I could just really create somebody's look with them. I would love to do that, whether it's like on tour or for a press, for a movie, something like that. What else?
Do you have an idea how you can end it up there? So what is the,
Process
or step-by-step process for that?
I don't think there's any like exact way to get that. I think that it all kind of just depends on who you are and your path. But I mean, it's definitely doing the line of work that I'm obviously already doing. Also, I'm coming out with a brand. That's like my next step. So I think that really working on that is a big thing for me. It's hard for me to give up control. So I want to do everything myself.
Got it. The only thing, I don't know if I can mention it or not, if you're focusing on your career or you're focusing on the other things like, set up the relationship or something, it could be, it's like kind of one-way road sometimes.
Yes.
Because if you're traveling to Milan, to work there, to work your ass off there, working on the runway show, and it sounds pretty intense. It's like you're on the bottom of your career again.
Yes.
With the intensity of work.
Totally.
So probably from I see with my abilities or anything, that's the only block or thing which I see
Totally.
as a problem.
Totally. I agree. I think that it just depends, I think it just depends like what choice you want to make, what path you want to take.
And your what is your idea of the best path for now?
I think that it's important to put out more art. I read something that said, you'll put out, you just keep working on stuff, keep creating art. And 70% of it will be whatever or terrible or
You're
whatever.
just planting the seeds.
Yes, but it's whatever, okay? And then 30, maybe 20% of it is like good. And then 10% of it is amazing. And that's why you work so much and put out so much art, because that 10% is going to be amazing. So I think that's a big thing for me. I think I want to put out more art and just create more, create clothing, create, more covers.
And what do you think about networking? Like, if it is important for, building this path to your own brand and making it successful.
Yeah.
And to the runway shows.
I think it's very important to be around other creatives. So it's important to have friends and have people around you that are, number one, further ahead of you, and number two, that want to do the same things that you want to do. Maybe not the exact same thing, but for instance, like, I have friends that are photographers, and we kind of like brainstorm together things that we want to happen, goals that we want for the year. I think that's really, really important. Yeah.
And if we're talking about social media, is it important for you to develop your presence there or not?
For sure. I think it's important for everybody these days to develop their presence on social media, whether they work in fashion or really anything. I think it's a way to get across to an audience. And obviously, if you have a bigger audience, you can do more.
And what is the advice for your 19, 18 years old self from your present self?
My advice would be just stay committed, believe in what you're doing. Don't sway. Because I think when you're younger, especially me, I was like, I'm going out on a whim and doing something that nobody I know has done. And I was very not sure if I was always making the right decision. So I think it would just be to be more confident in my intuition.
Yeah, I think it's a great advice for anybody, you know, in any age.
Totally.
To be, more confident and believe in yourself more than in anybody else.
Totally. I mean, honestly, I could still tell myself that now.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your amazing story.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I happy to be to work with you and making our creativity, in real life.
Yes, I love it. I mean, we just created something so cool the other day.
Hopefully one day it's gonna be Matt.
Yes, exactly. We're putting it out there.
I'm not Rihanna, but hopefully Hannah will answer me, or she's gonna be, here's my assistant. She's gonna take care of you, Lily. We had some moment in past, but I'm just kidding.
But no matter what, we'll create something
hopefully
cool.
That's gonna be like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly. We're believing
it's gonna
that.
Be like that. Yeah, and you just, you're 5 years younger than me, and I'm inspired. How we met, and you were like 25, you already were working with all the celebrities, Katy Perry, Adele, and all the big names.
Yes,
so, yeah,
totally. Thank you. It means
cool
a lot
background.
to me. Yeah.
Thank you. So that was our episode. Like, subscribe, and put some love in the comment section. I'll be glad to read your feedback, and see you in the next episode. Bye.